The Joe Rogan Experience.
But then there are the people who are selling the antidote to their fears. In the book, I call these people the dread merchants, right? The people who are going to sell you the bunker, you know.
Like Jim Bakker and his
Jim Bakker,
his food.
Oh man, his survival water.
Yes. How amazing are those buckets of food that you could use as the base of a table? Have you seen that whole video?
I love those, and he talks about using them as porta-johns.
Yes,
yeah, he sells the Bible buckets as well. Have you ever
Bible buckets? What's a Bible bucket?
It's just a bucket full of Bibles, you know, just in case.
Why
right?
do you need more than one Bible?
I know. Yeah, well, maybe you got a big family.
Maybe you want to go Old Testament if shit gets really weird.
Have you ever seen the Vic Berger remixes of the Jim Bakker?
Yes, I have.
Oh, man,
yes.
They are so much fun.
Yes.
I got really addicted to those when I was working on this project. It was kind of it became almost like a mantra, you know, just having these running in the background. It's
so strange that he was the guy that was attached to the Jessica Hahn controversy back in the 1980s. I mean, you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Jim Bakker? Like, he had an affair with this woman, and it became, for whatever reason, this big news. Well, and it's the same guy. He's around today.
Because then we still expected people to be guided by their moral compass, you know. And everyone's a hypocrite now.
Right. Do you remember? Then there was Jimmy Swaggart got caught with a hooker, and he was crying, "I have sinned." Do you remember that? You remember that? That was good.
No one confesses anything anymore. No one admits to anything
word
anymore.
Bible bucket.
Yes, I love that one.
A bucket of Bibles.
Why not?
That's only $50. That's a pretty good deal. How many Bibles you get?
24.
Wow.
I think it's what it says.
Should we get a bucket of Bibles? I feel like we should have one at the studio.
Get one.
I feel like we should have one at the studio.
I don't want to feed the beast, but you should get one.
If he gets $50 from me, what the fuck?
We need at least a table worth, right?
Right. A table's worth of Bibles.
6 buckets.
How
many buckets makes a table?
But shouldn't we get the food? Or we should just get the Bibles? Well, 1 bucket of Bibles and 5 buckets of food. But his fucking food...
I love watching him feed the audience.
You know,
from the giant trough.
You can get real good freeze-dried food that'll last forever. You don't have to get his bullshit. Yeah.
So
what the fuck? Creamy potato soup. Oh my God! Look at that slop.
Shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do a big thing of rice, and then they mix it all together. You know, the big bucket of slop, just pour it on top of it.
Google peakrefuel.com. This is my friend Chad Mendez has a really delicious company that they make actual. I think is it freeze dried? I think his stuff is freeze dried or dehydrated. I'm not sure, but people are doing it now.
Freeze dried.
Yeah, people are doing it now where you could keep this stuff forever. This is my buddy Chad's stuff. This is really good for you. It's actually delicious and healthy.
Yeah, and he's doing Mylar bags too. That's much better than doing buckets.
Yes, and Chad is a former UFC fighter who's a great guy who's actually a hunter, and he makes everything's organic and really healthy, and when you reconstitute it, it actually tastes good. So you don't have to buy that Jim Bakker bullshit. You can actually buy this.
Check this out. I went to a community in just outside of Dallas, and this is a budding prepper community, and they had built this 50-foot fountain ringed by the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Oh Christ!
Right? I mean, it's like in a rural county, in a town with like 300 people. You know, they bought all this land. It's like it was a square mile of land. And it had these sort of green lagoons in there that were dredged out for grazing cows at some point, and they were going to revitalize these into these kind of like crystal blue lagoons with white beach sand, and they were going to build a bunker community in there called Trident Lakes. So the lakes are the blue lagoons. And he told me that their plan was to do a kind of outer perimeter wall around this that was going to be a giant berm around shipping containers. So essentially the wall would be hollow. And he said he was going to fill it with buckets of food and whatever. And I kept imagining, you know, Jim Bakker's Bible buckets just lined up down the walls of this thing, you know.
To keep intruders out. Just a fucking 12-foot high wall of Bible buckets.